Look what I just found on TV.
Church motherfucker. People think that, general anesthesia, wears off the next day or in a week. The general anesthesia lasts for, over 6 months. Most people nowadays are walking around under the effects still of general anesthesia.
You have a rape story, right? You got drunk with a naval officer, something like that?
Yeah, well, are you gonna respect my story, Grace, or are you gonna call me a liar?
I'm gonna ask you questions about it.
I don't lie. Ask me a question, but okay. If I answer, you can just say, "Oh, you're a liar," because that doesn't fit my narrative of what.
Okay. I won't call you a liar. I'll just say you're wrong. How about that? If I think you're wrong.
I don't know how I could be wrong about my own anecdotal story.
Okay, well, can you tell us? Can you tell us?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think really things are the same now as they were back then, but this was Pacific Beach, San Diego. I had just turned 21, and I was frequenting the bars in Pacific Beach, and San Diego has 8 different colleges or whatever. So it's a big college bar scene, and it's really casual. You can just go in your flip flops and shorts and tank top, blah blah. And so I hit the scene hard.
Okay, so you were frequenting bars. You were whoring around looking for male attention. Okay, next.
No, I was having fun.
Okay. All right.
It's called, you can't explore your own, sexual freedom without calling yourself a whore.
Okay. All right. So what happened? So you met this naval officer. You got drunk with him.
Yeah. So I was doing the things where I was, getting really drunk. I was, I just turned 21. I had my girlfriend who was from my hometown. And we rushed the same store together, and I was like, "Are you from, this town?" And she's like, "Yeah." It was really weird, MK Ultra, synchronistic, and she has my middle name Nicole, so we were we were buddies, wing women, and we get Long Island iced teas.
Get to the point, Aphrodite. Come on. What happened? Let's go.
So we were at this bar called Tavern.
Okay.
And I met this guy who was 30 something.
Sure.
And I just turned 21, and he kept feeding me shots of Jaeger. So
what does that mean? Feeding you shots of Jaeger?
He would buy me shots and say, "I'm gonna take a shot."
And you freely took the shots, right?
Yeah.
Well, you say feeding. You say feeding, you're making it sound like he was forcing them down your throat. You took them. No. Free will, right?
Grace, hold back. Okay, after this happened to me, I did not go to the bars anymore. I held back. I felt so shitty about myself. I felt like I beat myself up so much. So you can get over your high horse about me being a whore and everything.
I'm just saying, you said he was feeding you shots, which is that's specific language to make it sound like he was taking advantage of you. He was buying you shots, and you were freely taking them.
In the beginning, and then he was it was the 9th shot, and he was pushing the liquor into my mouth. We were doing Jaeger bombs with Red Bull, but it was where I was getting really, really drunk, and he was pushing them in my mouth.
And you freely took the shots. Right?
Yeah.
Well, you got free alcohol and you liked it, okay? And you took it freely, okay? Somebody bought you shots. He was being nice.
He wasn't being nice. He was saucing me up to take me home to begin drugging me more.
He was saucing you up. He bought you shots that you didn't have to take. You took them freely. Right. You got drunk with this guy buying you shots. Now, what does it mean? What does it mean?
He probably had sourced me out before because I had seen him the next night at the same bar taking another drunk girl out. After this happened to me, I did not go to the bars anymore. So he was like he did this. It was like a thing.
So you were at a bar and he bought you shots, and you're a victim of that? Am I right so far? You're a victim of that, and he fed them to you.
Grace, I took the shots, but then I was blacked out drunk.
That's your fault.
Yeah, that was my fault.
Yeah. Why are you getting blackout drunk with a guy if you don't really know him? Why are you? You don't think it means something when a girl drinks liquor that a guy buys for her? You don't think that means something usually?
No.
Because if you don't like a guy, you don't take, unless you're just friends and he's buying them for the table. If a guy's specifically buying you shots, he's spending money on you. There's an implied.
I was gonna have sex with him. Yeah. I went back to his room. Yeah. He sat me down and he handed me, here, have some orange juice. He said, here's some orange juice, vitamin C. That's what
Why did you go home with a guy that you didn't know, blackout drunk?
So why did he drug me? If I was already gonna fuck him. Why did he drug me?
No, he didn't rape you. He did not rape you.
He did.
He did not rape you.
And I was fighting him. I pushed him off. He was eating me out, and I was bloody, Grace. And I pushed his face off, and I said, no, no, no. And then he rolled over and pretended he was asleep. And I didn't know where I was. And I crawled out, and I had to figure out where I was.
How do you know you were drugged? How do you know you were drugged? That's my question.
Because he gave me the orange juice. It took me years to figure it out, honestly.
So you have no evidence. This is just speculation.
They put GHB in orange juice.
Did you get a drug test afterwards and find what drug he used on you?
No.
So you have no evidence for him.
He was a naval officer. Everybody saw me drinking. What were they gonna say? Yeah, exactly. I deserved it. I was stupid. I went home with him. You know.
So you have no evidence. You have no evidence if he actually drugged you or not. You just are speculating because.
Grace. And he gave me orange juice. He said vitamin C. And then this is the other thing. He took me into the bathroom and he gave me a new toothbrush. He said he unwrapped the toothbrush and I was so stupid and I was like, oh, how sweet. He's giving me a brand new toothbrush. Is somebody, he doesn't even know he's wasting a toothbrush on me. No, he had a stock of toothbrushes that he used on women so that we can wipe out the drugs out of our mouth so he can stick whatever he wants in our mouth and not put the drug on him.
That's a lot of speculation. He sounds like a nice guy. He gave you some orange juice, maybe to sober you up a little bit, to give you something refreshing, and he gave you a new toothbrush. What? He gave you a new toothbrush. You have no evidence. And then the next day, you and your little animal brain, you see him with another girl and you get jealous. How does that make any sense? Shouldn't you confront him and say, you raped me, I'm calling the police on you? You see him with another girl and you get jealous because you remembered that part of the story, right? You told me the next day he was with another girl. So you were mad. You were mad that he used you, right? He used you for sex, right? Like you were expecting him to.
I woke up with him on me.
You went home with him, and then he moved on to another girl.
I was brushing my teeth, and that's all I remember. And then I woke up, and he was on top of me, and I said, no, no, no. I pushed him off.
Yeah, you were blackout drunk. I don't know what to tell you. He didn't drug you. It doesn't sound to me like he drugged you.
I woke up once, and he was standing at the other side of the room, and the room had, a black light on, and he, threw a towel at me, and he said, clean it up, and then I, blacked out again. And then I woke up in the morning to him eating me out, and it hurt really bad, and just pushing his head, and he was like, and I was like, no!
I don't know. If you woke up, why didn't you say... Because it's a ludicrous story. It's a ludicrous story.
What happened?
So you pushed him off and he stopped? He doesn't really sound like a rapist to me.
I pushed him off finally. I had to really use all my might. And then he rolled over and pretended he was asleep.
So he stopped though. He stopped. If he was a rapist, wouldn't he say no, I'm doing it?
He had already raped me, Grace. He had raped me all night.
He didn't rape you. He didn't rape you, and he didn't drug you either. You have no evidence for either of those things. You got blackout drunk with this guy. He was buying you shots. You freely got drunk. Then you freely went back to his place. The next day you saw him with another girl. You got jealous, and years later you realized that he drugged you. Bullshit, Aphrodite. Bullshit. That's bullshit. That's just cope. You're just coping. You shouldn't go around saying that this guy raped you. He didn't.
He did rape me, Grace.
He didn't rape you. How did he rape you? How did he rape you?
He drugged me did whatever he wanted.
You have no evidence of this drugging. You have no, and all this.
He gave me this orange.
So if he raped you,
and then he had me brush it out of my mouth so he could stick his whatever in my mouth, and the drug wouldn't transfer to him. So he was eating you out, and he raped you. You pushed him away, and he stopped. He gave you a fresh toothbrush. He gave you some orange juice to like maybe refresh you or whatever, and then later you claim that it was drug. Okay, first of all, your story doesn't make sense. You say you were blackout drunk, and then you say you remember certain things. Well, which was it? Were you passed out, blackout drunk, or were you having? Before?
Yes.
You've been blacked out drunk before?
Yes, once. Yeah.
Okay, well, when you're blacked out and you're being traumatized, your body will try to fight through and break through it, but then you pass back out again.
Wait, hang on a second, though. Your story doesn't make sense. Okay, so you got drunk with him.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I met him at the bar.
You got drunk with him.
Started buying me shots, lots of shots.
Mm-hmm.
Bartender.
And you freely took those shots.
Yeah, I had just turned 21.
Right.
Yeah.
That doesn't. I'm almost 21. If I go to a bar and a guy brings me shots, I'm perfectly.
You don't have a high school diploma. You don't have any college experience.
This is how I know you're lying. This is how I know you're lying because now you're attacking me. My educational history is not on trial here. Me having a GED or not has nothing to do with this.
You don't know like drinking culture in college.
I know whores. I know drinking culture. I get it. It's not that complicated. You're not like a cultured maven. Okay? You were a whore. You went. Did you go to these bars? When you say you frequented bars, let me ask you one question. Did you pick up guys at these bars and did you hook up with guys at bars? Did you?
I would just make out with them. I wouldn't fuck them.
Okay, but so you were so you never fucked a guy after you made out with him?
Back then, no. I would see that was the stupid thing is that I would get drunk and then I would go home with them and then just lay in bed with them and make out and then I wouldn't and maybe just touch and stuff, but then I wouldn't let it go further.
Oh, so you were a cock tease on top of it all. Perfect.
He was planning on drugging me from the get-go, Grace. It wasn't like
you were not drugged. You weren't drugged.
I was drugged.
You have no evidence. It's just your speculation. You have no evidence.
I do have evidence because I've been blacked out drunk many other times, and I didn't have the same reaction that I had with that.
Yeah. Maybe sexual regret.
No.
Did this guy have sex with you?
I thought that too. No, he raped me, Grace.
Did he have sex with you?
I did not have any consent with it.
Did he have sex with you? Did he fuck you?
I woke up and he was on top of me.
Did he fuck you? Did he fuck you? Did he fuck you?
He raped me. He raped me.
Why won't you? But did he fuck you? Did he have intercourse?
What does that mean, Grace?
You don't know what that word means? I'm pretty sure you know what that word means.
And probably anally because I was totally blacked out. And then I woke up and he was eating. He was like eating, actually chewing on my vagina.
Okay, this is first of all, this is how I know you're lying because if he had anally raped you, if he had an anal intercourse with you, you would know, you would feel it the next day. Okay, so you're saying, well, maybe he did. You're just throwing accusations out. You didn't say that. You didn't say that.
Surgery on my asshole too after the fact.
You said maybe he anally raped me because I was drunk, because I was blacked out. Okay, if you were blacked out, how do you know that he had intercourse with you? How do you know?
Because I woke up and he was on top of me, inside of me, and I was pushing him off.
You woke up to his house, you blacked out. You woke up and he was on top of you.
I have a video about this.
You pushed him off and he stopped.
It's called I Was Raped by a Naval Officer. Please check it out on my channel. I detail every detail. I've actually been raped by the military. Physically in this body. And I was targeted. He started buying me drinks, and he wanted me to drink Jaeger. That was what he wanted me to drink, and I've actually researched it since then, and it actually is supposed to have stag's blood in it. And I think this Jaeger, as I've thought thought about it later, way later in life. It's a very ritualistic, almost a magical potion that was put onto me. And we were doing Jaeger bombs, which is when you drop a shot of Jaeger into a glass of Red Bull. And I've also done extensive research into Red Bull, which I think is like hexed menstrual blood, because Red Bull gives you wings. It's an energy drink that gives mostly men energy. And the bull, red is blood, Red Bull. Bull is the Taurus. Uterus, Taurus is the bull, the bull's horn. So a Red Bull gives you wings. A bleeding uterus, Red Bull gives you wings. It's slang for when you eat out a woman on her period, you get your red wings because you get blood on your cheeks. So Red Bull gives you wings. Is basically code for drinking menstrual blood, but I think it's hexed. I think it's like menstrual blood from like some evil witch or something. I'm very open about it. You can check my details, cross-reference, see if my story changed, because it hasn't. Because it happened to me.
But did you wake up and he was on top of you?
Go in the bars because I felt so shitty and I never wanted that ever to happen to me again.
Okay, you having surgery in your anus has nothing to do with this. I don't know why you'd bring that up. That's just gross.
Because you just said you would have evidence that you were anally raped. I did.
Your evidence is that you had surgery?
I had.
No, you did. I remember. I've heard your disgusting anal surgery story. It's because you had some kind of colon problem. It's not because you were anally raped. What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know what happened. I don't know why I had an anatomical.
No, you said why. It's because you had some kind of colon problem and you had to go have surgery for it. It's not because you were anally raped. Now you're literally pulling things out of your ass. You're just literally just saying like, whatever it is, I was anally raped because I had surgery on my anus. What the fuck are you talking about?
You said I would have proof that I was raped. And I do have proof.
Your proof is that you had surgery for a totally unrelated colon problem.
What was my colon problem?